talking about an exit plan. Come on, man. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Okay, y'all, good morning. Saturday morning, a little chilly. It's like 40 degrees. We got family coming today, so I'm gonna go do these two in downtown over here, two commercial sites that I do. Well, I pretty much do them throughout the winter. Just a couple of $100, just, you know, probably take me about an hour. Yeah, so that's the plan anyway. So I was watching a video that my guy Chad did over there at Green Acres, man, and I might have went a little bit rogue on some of the comments on one of the commenters, you know, on the video where he was talking about you know, buying the land, or you know, or finding the land with the shop, or, you know, basically trying to grow his business even more. And he knows all the downfalls too. He's been in business a long time. And one of the commenters just struck me as, I don't know, man, it just struck me as, and you know, I ain't nobody special or unique or anything, but I just wanted to, I don't know, call out this comment, and it went into a lot of detail. Of course, y'all know my comments can be detailed too. And he wasn't commenting to me, and it's no offense or anything. I'm not, you know, I'm not dogging nobody out. I'm kind of dogging the thinking out. And, you know, first thing I want to say is, kudos to Chad for being in the spot that he's in, right? And at the age that he is. I think he said he's 39, so he's not even 40 yet. So he's in his prime, really. You know, for the next, well, probably for the next 10 years. And if he takes care of his body and takes care of himself, he could be in his prime for the next 15, 20 years, you know. And when I say prime, I mean where your physical ability and your mental ability kind of meet. You know, when you're young, like in your 20s and even in your 30s, your physical ability is a lot better than, at least I got to speak for me. At least for me, my physical ability was a lot better than my mental aptitude toward business, right? And it didn't matter, you know, what kind of business it was or is or whatever. For me, in your 20s, your physical ability usually overpowers your mental ability, and not all the time, but for the general public, right? And for this video purposes, right? So for me, it was all about my physical ability, and then I would learn the mental aspect of things as I go, which is basically what I did. Of course, I was a lot older than Chad when I started my business. I started my business at what, I think I was 36, and he's already built his business way up past, you know, mine, and he ain't even 40 yet. So I was just starting while he's in the prime. I mean, his business is, to me, just from what, you know, I don't know the financials, but it appears that his business is primed for growth, big time. Now, we all know that's going to be contingent on labor. You know, we all know that. So, and that is, you know, but the commenter, let me try to find, I might have to pause the video to do it. Commenter is saying he doesn't see how investing in a commercial property for shop or whatever is a good business move, or building a shop is a good business move. And y'all know I'm gonna say something about this because well, I built a shop, but he's saying, you know, basically, you know, building a shop is a waste of money. A shop don't make you money. A shop don't do this. A shop don't do, you know. My thinking has always been, you know, I want to keep the equipment out of the weather. And if you guys watch Chad's videos, a few things you got to understand about the dude, right? About the man, about the entrepreneur that he is. Obviously, he started the business when he was young. So there, and he might not say this, and I don't want to speak for him, but I kind of know what he's, you know, his thinking, because, you know, we all pretty much think alike if we've been in business, in this kind of business for that long, and we've had some success. He doesn't see how a commercial property or building a shop is gonna make him money, you know, make Chad money. It'll give you storage, but see, what you got to understand, number one, is on the shop part, is it gives you a lot more than storage, man. I know that obviously this comment is from somebody that, well, that ain't never built a business, I don't think. Now, I could be wrong, and there's no offense or anything. I'm just kind of a direct kind of guy, and sometimes my opinion or my thinking comes off as rude and, you know, disrespectful, but that's not the intention. Okay, I'm just, you know, I just kind of got a way about me that I don't really put a lot of cut on things. I don't know how to act, and I'm a nice guy, so, you know, I don't know about that. Sometimes my delivery's not so good, but he doesn't see how a shop will bring you more revenue. Well, I can give you a couple of examples, just so, you know, just educating, you know, my thinking based on my experience, based on the shop that I built at my house, and based on the thinking and all that previous to building a shop, and now 2 years after I built the shop. So number one, running the business out of my garage became, well, it became so intrusive on our day-to-day lives that it was started to become a pain in the butt, right? And that was the biggest thing, because I didn't have a place to park everything. I didn't have a place inside to put all the equipment, because the equipment I kept getting more and more equipment, and you got to be able to have a place to put this stuff. If you can't put it nowhere, then what do? You can't leave it all in the weather and expect it to last as long as it would if it were in a shop. Another thing that a shop will do, well, it'll make it where you can fix your stuff, and you can do a lot deeper fixes, you know, as you grow. Whenever I buy stuff, and this is just, you know, putting this out there, and I'm not a guru or nothing, y'all know but I'm consistent. Whenever I buy something, a piece of equipment, a truck, a trailer, building a shop, hiring labor, in every aspect of the business, I'm always building things and buying things for tomorrow, right? It's a given that whatever I buy or do is going to cover what I'm doing right now. That's a given. You don't wait until a trailer breaks down to buy a bigger trailer or whatever. You know, I'm just using a trailer as an example. You don't wait on things to go all the way out before you before you start thinking. Okay, you got to always be thinking about what you're trying to do. And, you know, a couple things about a shop, well, it enables you to be able to do projects and work on things that that you couldn't do any other way. I mean, I know, and Chad might not say it as bluntly as I, but I'm sure that considering, you know, how his house is laid out, how the driveway is, how the garage, even though it's a big garage than most, and how the big trucks he has is in the driveway, I'm sure that all these things at some point cause him to have to move vehicles out of the way to get to this, and move equipment out of the way to get to that, and, you know, just irritating little things, you know. He did for me. And I don't have as much equipment as far as mowers and stuff goes as he does. I got a lot of equipment, but I have 4 lawn mowers. I think he said he has 7. And of course he has the great big trucks too. Now, I don't know about building a shop so big that I could put those trucks in, but if there's one already available, then that might be something that would be sweet. But the shop, since I built my shop, it has saved me all kinds of energy, effort, and I mean, everything. I mean, and before I built the shop, I was very skeptical about, you know, spending that kind of money on a building and it not be a piece of equipment and all that I can see it making me money. You know, when I buy a skid steer, well, I know it's going to make me money. When I buy a mower, I know that there's a return on the investment. When I built the shop, well, you don't see all you see is the money going out. You don't really see it coming back to you. But it'll come back to you in many different ways. Number one, well, it decongested all the area all up around my garage at my house, where you know, me and my wife have more space now. So the shop has done a lot of good things for me, and it's not things that are real evident on paper, as far as you know, expenses and all, because the shop costs so much money. Running a business like mine out of a storage facility, it's pretty costly. And then the storage facility being a mile from my house, that, you know, that creates a lot of things don't get done. At the end of the day, they don't get done. And the storage facility is not really designed. There's no parking. There's, you know, and it's not my space. I'm there when I got somebody, you know, 5 feet from me in the next unit. Even if you get a big unit, you still don't have a lot of space. The 20 by 40s down at my storage facility that I was using, they're $1,000 a month, and that's one power outlet and no running water or nothing like that, no AC, none of that, and that's for a 20 by 40 with the big door, and it's $1,000 a month and then some. It's outrageous for what you get. But go back to the benefits of having a building of some kind. It's got to be big enough though too. You don't want to build a little 12 by 12 shed and call it a shop. I mean, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but the practicality of it for a business even the size of mine is, I mean, if I got to move a lawnmower or two to change the blades on one, then that's ridiculous. If I can't close the door and have all the equipment in there, then that's not worth. I'm not going to use it. If I can't have big power out there, then I'm not going to want to use it. So there is a line of where it is a big waste. You know, some of these prefab buildings where, you know, you buy from Home Depot out in the lot, where, you know, they're wood and they're, you know, not very big. I mean, I'd rather have a big open coverage area than a small enclosed space, as long as it's protecting things from the sun and the rain. A shop, I mean, there's so many things. My brain is just flooded with things that right now that I'm thinking about, the shop has benefited. You can grow, right? Number one thing is when you do something like that, well, your business has got to be in a spot to where you're not worried about, you know, feeding your kids or nothing. You're not going to do that and not be able to pay your bills or whatever. The total cost for my shop, as you see it, was about $40,000. Now, the actual structure, just the structure itself, was $22,000. The concrete was $8,000, $9,000, something like that. And then, you know, doing the spray foam and putting the wood inside and all that was about $10,000 total. So, you know, 45,000 tops. And you don't have to do everything that I did. You know, spray foaming it was, well, that's a luxury if you ask me. Ideally, for me, if I was Chad, I would be, and I don't know, he's probably in an HOA or something, I don't know. I'm not in an HOA. First thing I would do is look at building a building at my house. That would be the very first thing that I would do. Now, there might not be an option, because building a building at your house increases your property value too. And you're not having to go out and rent space. And then you might not be able to find a commercial space that makes sense, you know, to buy or to even rent. Some of the commercial spaces around here, they're $6,000 or $7,000 a month. I'm just telling you, that's the truth. And they're usually not even as equipped as my shop is at my house. And when you start spending $6,000 a month on rent, then that's to me, that's not a great idea. But you know, you have to look at the finances of what the business is making and all that, and how you can, you know, of course you can write everything off, but writing it off, you still got to pay for it. I mean, people always think writing things off is well, that means you don't have to pay for it, but that just means you don't have to pay taxes on it. You still got to pay for what you're writing off. So I don't do things just for write-offs. You know, I didn't build a shop just for a write-off. And just FYI, building a shop is not a huge tax break or a huge write-off. It's not. That's what my accountant told me when I built my building. But back to the comment, you know, the commenter is not being offensive. He's telling Chad that if it were him, that he would be looking at an exit plan. Chad's 39 years old, y'all. I mean, an exit plan? I mean, that's like, I don't know, getting to the good part and then quitting, to me, if you ask me. And then you got to look at the demeanor and the build of the person that built the business. There's something to be said, and only people, entrepreneurs and people that have started with nothing and built something up with the grind and the daily struggle, the good, the bad, and the ugly, only people that have actually done that and are living that can appreciate the good, the bad, and the ugly. From the outside looking in, obviously you're not looking at the person, the makeup of the person. I would be shocked if Chad is figuring out his exit plan right now. I'd be absolutely shocked. That does not, and I've been wrong before. If anything, he's thinking like somebody that's built a business that is getting some success, and now he wants to take it a step further. That's what he's saying. I mean, you know, and then for guys that are built like me, I can't speak for Chad on this, but for guys that are built like me, exit plan, right? Okay, we'll just throw a hypothetical out there. Say I sell my business tomorrow, and say I get $1 million, $1.5 million. I mean, I don't think I'd get that, but just say I did, right? with what you guys know about me and how I'm built, right? What would I do tomorrow if I sold the business today? What would I do? And of course, anybody you sell the business to is gonna have you sign a no compete thing, paper, document, or whatever. So you're not gonna be able to start up another business, like another lawn maintenance business like that, not in that general area or whatever. And who would want to start over again? And then, okay, for Chad's situation, that's even magnified because he's already been doing it a long time. So he's been doing it since he was pretty young. If he's been doing, I mean, I want to say he's been doing it for 15 years or more. And if he's 39, that puts him at 24 or 23 years old when he started. That's pretty young. So to take that business away, or for him to sell that business, what would he do all day, every day? I know people are always saying, well, you can retire. What exactly is retirement? Going to Cabo and sitting on the beach and drinking margaritas all day? I don't want to do that. You know, and a lot of guys that are purpose driven don't think like that. And I ain't saying everybody, but a lot of guys don't. Rarely does somebody build a business up like this and work in it for, you know, in it and on it for 15 years or more, and them not actually like the work or like the business. Now, I guess if you're working for the man, you know, nothing wrong with that. If you're working for the man, then and you hate your job, which a lot of people do, they think they like their job, but they ain't had a taste of nothing like this out here, where you're in control of everything. But you hate your job, of course you're looking for the quickest way out, where you can get full benefits and blah 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 blah. Guys like me, and I'm assuming Chad too, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he really ain't looking for a way out. He's looking for a way to go deeper, higher profit, more control. Of course, with that comes more headache, right? So when guys come in the comments, and it ain't even my video and ain't none of my business or anything, but it just seems to me ludicrous for Chad to be working on an exit plan at 39 years old, the way someone would if they were working for a company, right? Well, number one, if they're working for a company, they probably are not able to have an exit plan at 39. They can think about it all they want, but they probably don't have the resources or the wherewithal or the know-how to you know, retire at 40 or 45. You know, if you're working for the man and you're going to a 9 to 5 every day. There are exceptions, but that's not the rule. The rule is you'll probably work until you're 60 or so. That's for the average Joe out here. And I know there's gonna be somebody coming to comment telling me he's making $500,000 a year and he can retire whenever he gets ready, and he's working for the man, and he's, you know, he makes $3,000 a day, and all this stuff that people in the comments always you know, throw out there. And, you know, okay, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is when you're giving advice, and you gotta be looking at things a little bit deeper than just what you think you would do, right? And I might be all wrong. Let me preface everything. I might be totally wrong, but I don't think so. Because I know what it's like to be maybe not quite as big as Chad is, but I know what it's like to build something from nothing and the freedom it gives you in your life. I know that. And to build it up so good only to sell it at 39 or 45 or even 50, well, I'm not saying that's a terrible idea. It's according to everybody's circumstances a little bit different. You know, health-wise, can you still get out here and all that? Well, I prove every day that 55 you can still do it. I'm showing you. And Chad's 39, so and I guarantee he's in a lot better shape than I was at 39. So if something happens to me, I'm in trouble, right? If something happens to you at your 9 to 5, you in trouble. I mean, if you're in a serious car wreck, you're in a serious car wreck. You know, I can't live my life worried about getting in a wreck. I mean, if that's the case, then I might as well just sell my house and move to the Yellowstone out in Montana and live in a tent. I mean, and then you probably still get ate by a bear. I mean, there's risk every day. You know, it kills me when people, you know, live in such a worrisome world. You know, what you do is you grind hard until that happens. Yeah, there's always, and be smart with your money and all those things. And I think Chad is all that. I'm not saying that he don't make mistakes. You know, I'm not gonna toot his horn too much. Because we all make mistakes, but we all learn from them. And if you're telling Chad, if you've been watching any of his videos or any insight into who the person is, then you know that him doing what you actually are suggesting is, well, that's a wasted comment, man. I mean, that's ludicrous. Because I think that you must be basing that on your experience in your 9 to 5 that you had. I think the guy said that he was older from a senior standpoint. So he's trying to give good advice based on what his life was or is. But that's not accurate for a guy like me. That's the farthest. We are the direct opposites, and I'm closer to the commenter's age than Chad, I'm sure. And as I look back, are there things that I would have done different? Probably a couple, but exit strategy was never one of them. Quitting the business was never one of them. Oh no. If anything, is building the business more. That's, you know, but I've been, you know, tied down because of my labor problems. But I'm at 55, and if I had the right guy out here, I would build the business even. I would, you know, buy more equipment, build more buildings, whatever I had to do to accommodate, you know, what I needed to do to grow even more at 55. I'm still hungry. Now, I don't expect if you work for the man for 30 years to be hungry like I am working for myself, or like Chad is working for himself. But Chad's been doing it since he was 24 or so, something like that. And only to work till you're 40 and then, yeah, I done said it, probably repeated myself 100 times. But I just think that's ludicrous, man. And to guys that are in this business just for the money, if you're in it just for the money, then you're probably never going to reach a level that Chad's at. Not that he's, you know, a 20 truck, 80 employee company or nothing, but you're never even going to reach the level of me. If you hate doing it, if you're of the mindset that you're just doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the money, but I'm also doing it for the control of my life. And as I get older, that outweighs the money. It does for me. I'm doing it for the challenge too. And I would say that Chad's doing the same thing, because you take the business away from him and he's been doing it since he was 24, what else is he going to do that he wants to do, that he likes to do, that he knows a lot about? You have to learn a whole nother career at 40. Nobody wants to do that. And guys like me, I can't speak for Chad, but I'm pretty sure I can on this. I ain't the type to sit on the couch all day and watch Judge Judy. And I know this video is none of my business what Chad does. It's none of my business what the commenter says or don't say. It's none of my business, you know, to rant or anything like that. It's none of my business every which way you want to look at it. None of my business. But I can't help myself, y'all, when I see comments that are just so freaking far off left, you know, that it's like, what? I have to read it twice. But a building does make you money. Any of the big landscape companies, they have a home base. And it ain't their house. If I were to ever have one guy come and work regular with me for a couple of years, I would probably buy some property somewhere and do the same thing Chad's doing. And I'm 55. I would do that shit at age 60. Because I'm not going to be worried about getting hurt and all that, man. I can't, man. I can't. I can't be thinking about. I mean, I'm careful, of course. I'm not saying don't be careful, because there's a lot that can happen out here. But I'm not gonna make business decisions based on, well, if I get in a car wreck, yeah, I'm probably gonna hurt myself, and so I might not want to do that business move because I'm worried about, you know, somebody running into me while I'm driving down the road. Who makes business life decisions on that kind of thing? I mean, I might be wrong. I don't. I'm not. I refuse to live in fear of that. Now, about the employees coming to my house and all that, that has always been a topic of contention between me and my wife. She don't want all these knuckleheads coming to the house. And normally what I do is until I get to know them, know something about them, know their family, I usually have them meet them at the gas station or something like that. Now that is a little bit of troublesome when you got a guy like, you know, a guy driving the other truck. Well, if he's driving the other truck, I'm going to have to be able to trust him, you know, either way. Right? Every guy's not going to be driving the other truck. But if he's driving the other truck and he's my main guy, I'm going to have to be able to trust him with the keys to the damn city. Not the keys to my house, but the keys to the shop. Maybe. Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to bring every Tom, Dick, and Harry around, you know, my family. And he's got little kids, so that is even more evident. It's ludicrous to be thinking about an exit plan at 39 when you're in the spot. Now, you know, if he wasn't happy, he didn't want to do it no more, you know, his finances weren't, you know, making the grade, if you will, you know, if he just decided he don't want to do it no more, all those things, then the exit strategy might be something that you would do. But that's not what I'm getting from Chad. Not at all. I'm getting the exact opposite of that. And I'll be quite honest with you guys. It wouldn't take Chad much to become you know, $1 million business. He could easily do that before he's my age. Easily. As long as he can get the right labor. But he's not going to do that working out of his garage at his house. No, he's, from what I see, and I ain't, you know, from what I see, he's maxed out at his house, dog. He's maxed out. I know how much space four mowers take, and I couldn't imagine 7 mowers in my garage, and then all the other stuff. Even if you put 7 lawn mowers in my shop, I'd still be good. I could grow to 7 lawn mowers and 2 skid steers, and I'm still good. You know, a shop is a lot more than just storage, though storage is a big part, I will say that. But storing things inside is critical to making things last longer. Critical, you know. And I know how much hassle and trouble it can be to unload a truck or trailer every day. Yeah, because that's what I do. Now that I got the shop, I can back a whole trailer up in there. And when I was in my garage, me unloading the equipment into the garage made it where you couldn't hardly even walk through there. The garage was not a garage. It was my shop. But it wasn't no space in my garage to do anything. I couldn't even change the blades without pulling a lawnmower out. If it's raining on a rainy day, I do a lot of stuff in my shop. I might not get video of it, but I do a lot of stuff in the shop on a rainy day, saving me countless downtime and potential maintenance issues. Because those are the days that y'all see a lot of the stuff that I do, and without the shop, I wouldn't be able to do none of that stuff. Well, number one, I don't want to have to move 4 mowers to get to what I'm trying to do. I don't want to have to move 3 vehicles every time my wife leaves the house. I don't want to have to do none of that. That's quality of life right there, if you ask me. Might not be a big deal to some people, but it'd be a big deal to me. And it'd be a big deal to my wife, because she'd be pissed every time you got to move the trucks out of the way, And then you have to, I don't know if Chad goes through that, but I did. Oh man, my wife's so much happier now that I got the shop and keep all the equipment up at the shop. Oh my God, super happy. And even happier now that I cleaned the garage out. But let me tell you, he wants to try to scale it some, but he knows the number one factor in scaling is going to be labor. He can't scale it no more where he's at right now. I agree with you, Chad. I mean, if you do, it's going to be super uncomfortable. Like, say you decided to get into skid steer game, just a little bit. Even a mini skid steer, right? Where are you going to put it? I built the shop, and I buy trailers and trucks for tomorrow. Not for what I'm doing right now. If I'm just going to stay where I'm at right now and cap out on the money and the space, then there's going to be a certain time that the pay to my number one ace guy is going to cap out too. I got to be able to scale the business in order to keep my number one guy, because I got to be able to pay him more as we grow. And the number one guy is not going to want to be at, even if it is good money right now. He's not going to want to be at. I think Chad said he pays him $50,000 or $60,000 a year. He's not going to want to be at that in 10 years from now. He's going to want to be at 70 or 80. He's going to have to be. And you can justify that because you'll be able to scale the business some. Right now, and I don't know for sure, but right now I would imagine that Chad and his business has pretty much capped out at, and it be doable and comfortable in business where he's at right at this moment. Because he's thinking for tomorrow. And that tells me that he is, and he would know more than anybody, that he is capped out on what he wants to do running from his house. And if he's there, then the mindset is, okay, either you're going to settle down and you're going to make whatever you're making now, and that be pretty much the top. But are you going to be able to keep labor at that? You may not be able to keep your ace guy. If he's already making 50, then if you can't grow the business and offer him more than that, then you're going to be in trouble. My thinking is, and I'm just getting in Chad's head a little bit now, is if I have a guy like Justin has proven to be, and I'm paying him $50K right now, then do you think that he wants to stay at $50K forever? Well, I mean, he's not. No more than Chad wants to stay at whatever he's making. No more than I want to stay at whatever I'm making. I got to make, I mean, for me to be in business, I want to make more and more and more. And if I had a guy like Justin, then I'm going to want to pay him more and more and more. I'm going to want to put more responsibility on him. I mean, I mess around, and if I'm Chad, I'll mess around and grow and make Justin general manager. And then I can semi-retire and keep all the profit too. That's how much I think that Chad has a leg up. And I'm not, telling you guys anything that I wouldn't say to Chad. Even though Chad's going to downplay it, and that's what guys do. But if he doesn't do something, then he's just going to be making the same thing that he's been making. He might make a little bit more, might make a little bit less, but the numbers will probably be about the same as far as what his income is, because he works pretty hard now, and he really doesn't have a place to store any more equipment. I mean, I think he's outlived the garage, just like I did. I don't know. I think so. That's what he's saying without saying it. And he's willing to put his money where his mouth is. I like it, man. I like it. But I know that if he doesn't scale somewhat, then he's gonna have to pay Justin more money out of the profits, because Justin's not going to want to stay at $50K a year. He's going to want to, he's going to want to make more money. And that, of course, that's a discussion between him and Chad. But if I'm Justin, that's what I'm going to be, hell yeah, man, grow it, man. I'll help you. I'm in with you. And since Justin is a proven commodity, if I'm Chad, I gotta freaking listen to him. Now, if Justin came to me and said, hey man, yeah, I don't want to do this no more, then I would have to reevaluate all that, everything. But if I got a guy and I know that he can do the work, and I know he likes doing the work, and I know that all I have to do is just pay him really good, then it's a no-brainer. And then Justin can become the general manager. You got to be planning for tomorrow all the time when you're out here like I am and like Chad is. My plan for tomorrow is to survive. That's where I'm at this year. That's is to be able to hold my money and wait on the right Justin to come along. I don't know what other guys are thinking. But I don't think at age 40 they're thinking about an exit plan if they have already built up to where Chad is. And then he's got so many different ways to make money. Then he's got the fertilization and weed control stuff. I mean, dude, that people build multi-million-dollar businesses just on that alone. Exit strategy. I mean, I could just go on and on and on, y'all. I don't know, man. I know this video is way long, but I'm probably just going to post it and watch it if you want to. And I'm not saying that the older gentleman that was in the comments, I'm not saying that he's, advice has got to be based, good advice has got to be based on education of what you're advising about. If you don't know a lot about entrepreneurship, lawn landscape, being in business for yourself like this, in a business like this, if you don't know a lot about it, it's hard to give that kind of advice. and it not make guys like me look at you like. And I know Chad looking the same way, but Chad's a lot nicer than me. He ain't gonna say that. He's gonna be, you know, gonna always say the right things. And you know, that probably is one reason why he's you know, where he's at. But I don't take advice from people that don't have experience. And I'm going to say that this older gentleman in the comments, I'm going to say, and I might be rolling the dice just a little bit, I'm going to say that he's never been in business for himself in the lawn and landscape business, and been and seen any kind of success in it. If he was, it might have been all bad for him, and everybody's not built for it. We all know that. I say it all the time. But to give advice, well, you got to be informed on the business and entrepreneurship and a business owner and where somebody is in this kind of business in life too. Exit strategy at 39. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's the time to really put the hammer down, y'all. I said, put the hammer down, Chad. Go put the hammer down, dog. You know what it is, man. You know exactly what I'm saying. And I might not come across as someone that knows a lot about this business or someone that is business savvy, but I got a lot of scars. I got a lot of scars to prove it, and mental and physical. And I got a lot of history in this business. And like I always tell you, I got a lot of mistakes too, and I learned from every one of them. And if you haven't been in business like this, then there's no way that you would even say a comment like that. And anybody that's watches Chad or watches my channel would look at that comment and just like, but you know, the guy don't mean no harm. I'm not coming down on him, but it's ludicrous advice for a guy like Chad, for a guy like me, for a guy like Eddie, for a guy like Randall. That's, you know, ludicrous. You know, we always are going to try to make more money. We're always going to try to grow this baby. You know, it's our baby. I'm not going to quit this baby, man. Go get it, Chad. Do so.